Hey everybody, I'm back on YouTube, sort of. And I'm going to start uploading videos again to my main channel, but I wanted to make a big ol' update video talking about a little bit of what I've been up to, and also I'm making some changes on my YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon, so I wanted to talk about those in excessive detail in this video. If you don't want excessive detail, here's a really fast version. On YouTube, I'm going to start uploading YouTube again, but I'm going to mix some lower polish videos in with my normal main videos going forward. Things basically like stream highlights, but just videos that have a little bit less maybe voiceover or editing or music or jokes or whatever it might be. And again, I will explain why in more detail later, but the gist is I want to be able to put some more variety of stuff onto the channel and put out some things that are just a little dumber, you know, and not feel like every video has to be like super high quality. I think it will be creatively more exciting for me. So that's a change I'm going to make. On Twitch, this maybe sucks for people. I'm not going to schedule Twitch streams anymore. Basically, I'm no longer going to say, hey, I'm streaming every Tuesday or Tuesdays and Saturdays, or necessarily even being like, hey, this week I'm streaming on these days. I'm basically just going to, in the mornings, say whether or not I'm streaming that day, and that's it. It should still be the same quantity of streams in total, like about 2 streams per week is what I'd like to shoot for, but I'm not going to guarantee that it is that many streams per week, that is certain days, anything like that. I think this is going to be really helpful for me with my own anxiety and burnout, which is not crazy. And again, I'll talk about it in a lot more detail if you care later in the video. And then the third thing is the Patreon, which I am going to keep off. I am not going to reactivate my Patreon. You can still go sign up for Patreon, but it's not going to charge you any money. So there's no value to Patreon. It is essentially shut down. And again, I'll talk about that later in the video, but that's a really minor thing, to be honest. Okay, now let's get into lots of detail. I have some notes here just in case I forget stuff. So if you see me looking at the little thing, that's why. Okay, so YouTube. What I've been thinking about with YouTube is that I love YouTube. God, I fucking love YouTube. I love editing. But it has felt like, especially this year, it's gotten to the point where I feel a lot of pressure to make each YouTube video like as crazy as I can and like add as much stuff as I can, and that I like don't want to put out YouTube videos unless they have a lot of that polish, like a lot of editing and a lot of voiceover and, you know, any jokes I can add on top of it, which I think is awesome in principle, right? And I'm proud of that, and I like that. I like working hard on a video and making it awesome. However, there are a lot of video concepts or like Twitch streams I have that aren't that awesome, or they are not deserving of that much time and effort. You know what I mean? There's streams that are like, hey, that's a fun little stream. I would love to watch some highlights of that stream, but I'm not going to make some incredibly epic video out of that. There's just no way. And so up to this point, there's been a lot of content like that I sort of want to put out, but I can't justify making it super high quality, and therefore I just don't put it out at all. And that just kind of sucks. You know, if you know me, I like just to do dumb, goofy shit, and the idea that I just go on forever as a YouTuber and like would feel guilty about just putting out like some fart jokes in like a stupid little video, that I would be like, oh no, the algorithm won't like that, and like the quality bar of the video is too high. That just sucks for me. Like I just don't want to live in a world where I can't put, you know, shitty videos out, I guess is what I mean to say. And so I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start mixing in less polished videos into my sort of main content. To give an example for this, I did 2 streams recently. One, which is where I made a Skyrim mod that spawns bears every 10 seconds. So I did a stream with that, and that was really fun. And then I did another stream where it spawns a random enemy every 10 seconds, and that was also very fun. I don't want to spend a shitload of time editing both of those videos, which are like very similar, but both of them are really entertaining, and me as a viewer, like as a Doug, I would love to watch both of these videos in some form, or both of those streams. And so as an example, I'm going to like put a lot more narration and editing into one of those 2 videos, and the other one I'm kind of just going to put out as stream highlights. So those are an example of what I mean, where streams or video ideas that I have that, you know, just maybe aren't at that same level of, you know, crazy editing and all that stuff. But I would still love to see it. And that has always been my criteria for my content, has been, would I get excited about it? You know, if there's like this Tim Urban from Wait But Why has an awesome quote where he's like, imagine you're making content for a stadium full of you, like a stadium full of Dougs, and what would they love? And I always try to go through that filter. So I'm only going to put videos on my main channel that a stadium of Dougs would be excited to watch. But I recognize that a lot of people don't want to watch that. You know, stream highlights are, I think, very common, to put it lightly, and are less unique than what my main videos are. And I suspect that making this change and adding in sort of stream highlight stuff together with my main videos is probably really going to hurt my viewership on YouTube. And it's probably really going to make the YouTube algorithm unhappy with my channel, because now the algorithm's going to go, hey, what the fuck is going on here? Like, the viewers hate half your videos, like, you're out of here. So this will probably be a really bad idea, but I want to fucking try it and see. And I think that I would be more creatively energized if I don't feel this pressure to make everything super high quality and to just like have the freedom to make some stupid shit every once in a while. That's exciting to me. And hopefully it's exciting to you. And if it's not, I totally understand. And yeah, one other related thing is I'm working with an editor now. She's been great, and that should help me get more stuff out. And hopefully it's going to mean videos closer to like once a week rather than once every 2 weeks. But I don't want to promise anything. Knowing myself, I'll somehow manage to turn that into like every 3 weeks. But there should be more stuff as part of this change, like a bigger variety of things by definition, because I'm putting out more things, and hopefully more things, because I'm putting out more things. And I'll also put out some videos on my second YouTube channel, DougDoug Dessert. I have some great things over on there as well. I'll put stuff on the second channel that I just don't think fits into the first one for whatever reason. But I still am really proud of everything that's on the second channel. So you can also subscribe to that if you want even more of the Doug Hole. Okay, now on to Twitch, which is a weirder animal. So Twitch streaming, the big update here. I have been streaming on Twitch for about a year and a half now. It's been awesome, but I am not going to be scheduling my streams on Twitch anymore. Up to this point, I have said I'm streaming every Tuesday, and then every other Saturday, or every Saturday, or these days. And I schedule it in advance. I say, hey, these are the days I'm going to stream. And that's obviously great, right? That's the ideal scenario, I think. No questions asked. Everybody would prefer that you have a schedule, right? Because then you can actually fucking follow the stream. Unfortunately, I have this sleep problem, which has made my streaming schedule become a source of anxiety rather than something fun. I have mentioned my sleep problems on Twitter and on Twitch, but I am going to go into a lot of detail right now because sleep problems are hard, especially ones like mine. Sleep problems like mine require a lot of context. And if all I say is, hey, I am having trouble sleeping, then a lot of people will, with very good intentions be like, hey, have you tried, this? Have you tried melatonin? Have you tried like listening to music when you're going to bed? And these are good suggestions. But those are suggestions I tried 5 years ago. This has been like a 5-year, very obsessive thing for me, which has been very challenging. And I've just put in so much work trying to figure out this sleep problem that I have that I don't want to talk about it normally, because you really need to know all the information to understand why I'm so frustrated and why this is a problem. So I'm going to give you a quick recap of my sleep problem, and then I will explain how that leads to Twitch and why this sleep problem is causing me to change how I approach Twitch, because this sleep problem is 100% of the reason why I am not going to schedule my Twitch streams anymore, and I will get to that. Okay, review of my sleep problems. I sleep badly. That can mean a lot of things. For me, that means I can go to sleep fine, and I don't normally wake up in the middle of the night, but I wake up with non-restorative sleep, meaning that I wake up and about 50% of the days that I sleep, I wake up and feel like I slept 1 hour. It is really bad brain fog. I have no mental clarity, and it feels like my brain did not recover at all and is running on nothing. Another analogy is the days that I feel bad, it wakes up and it feels like my brain is stuck in a puddle of mud. Normally, your brain can zip around anything you think about. But on the hard days for me, it's like I'm in a puddle of mud, and anything, just to think about something, not to like have lots of ideas, but just to even start thinking about a new concept requires this immense amount of effort to like move my brain towards that direction. And it's just every single like thought is a hassle. It makes it very hard to be social. because having a conversation with somebody is a back and forth, thinking. And my brain just does not come up with anything when I'm conversing with people. It's really hard to stream when your brain feels like that, because what's happening on stream, my brain just does not respond to it. And I have to force my brain to be like, this is what happened, brain. Then this happened. What would be next? Pick 3 things. Now I'm going to pick what. It's like this manual fucking labor to have any thoughts or to like push through any sort of mental process, and creativity just doesn't happen. I don't like, on a day where I sleep well, I stream and it's fucking great, and goofy things happen on stream, or editing a YouTube video, right? Like goofy things happen, and then in response to those goofy things happening, my brain, fires off like a million crazy ideas, right? It's like electricity flying around. And then the days where I don't, something happens and I'm just nothing. It's just fog. Nothing happens in my brain. I mean, I'm being a little bit hyperbolic. There's obviously days that are kind of in the middle. It's not always that bad, but those are the bad days. And on average, that's about 50% of my life. And it fucking sucks a lot. And I can force myself to get through it most of the time because I'm very stubborn and I have a strong work ethic, and I just drink a shitload of coffee and G Fuel. And those help, right? But caffeine doesn't fix a problem where you don't feel like you slept at all. Caffeine can help you feel less tired. It doesn't help your brain function normally. This problem that I just described has been going on my entire life. About 5 or 6 years ago, I started to get really obsessed with this because this is obviously extremely shitty. And so I started to really dive into, okay, what's going on here? Because it should be something simple, right? So I went through all the simple things you can think of. Every single over-the-counter drug you can get for sleep medicine or for sleeping, I have tried. Every single one. Every single traditional thing you can think of, getting a new mattress, different types of temperatures, different types of clothing in the mattress or in your bedroom, earplugs, different sleeping schedules, music and all that sort of stuff. I've tried all those. So then I went and I saw an allergist because this is worse in allergy seasons for me. So I was thinking, okay, it must be related to allergies then. Went and saw an allergist. The allergist said, well, you're incredibly allergic to everything. So I started getting shots and I started getting, I tried various antihistamines, like nasal steroids and nasal sprays and the neti pot stuff. None of those worked at all. I went and saw a sleep doctor. So a full-on sleep doctor, and I got a sleep study, and I have sleep apnea, turns out. So I was like, okay, well, it's sleep apnea then, obviously. And I did stuff for sleep apnea. I used a CPAP machine, which fixes it. And then the data showed that the CPAP machine was working correctly, and that didn't do anything. So I went to the allergy doctor, and that sphere didn't help at all. I went to the sleep doctor. That sphere didn't help. Did all the over-the-counter stuff. I've looked at a bunch of alternative weird stuff. I bought a magnet from India that you put underneath your bed and shoots electromagnetic pulses into your spine, which didn't work. I tried these electro pulses that you put on your earlobes for an hour a day. So you're electro stimulating your brain or some crazy shit. All sorts of, I've tried doobies. I've tried a lot of different things, to the point that I went to a sleep doctor, a professional sleep doctor, and I showed him, I have all these charts and graphs, and I take all these notes, and I have spreadsheets and all this stuff. I'm very, 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 very meticulous about all of this because I'm obsessed trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And my sleep doctor said, well, I think you know more about deep sleep than I do at this point, which is really shitty to hear from your doctor, to be honest, that I went in there being like, this is a critically horrible problem for me. And he's like, well, you know more than me. It's like, no, I need fucking help, you asshole. Anyway, so I've seen 7 doctors at this point. No one has any idea what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I've tried literally over 50 things. And it's still a fucking mystery. And it's insane to me that I have not figured this out. There's certain things that have helped or that I know make it worse. So, for example, alcohol makes it extremely bad. So I don't really drink anymore. And if I eat way too much beef, that makes it worse. But for the most part, it is completely fucking random. I wake up on any given day and it's a coin flip of whether I feel like garbage. Again, it's much better in this half of the year. Allergy season is really bad. So right now it's a lot better. And then 6 months out of the year, it goes from 30% days being bad to 80 or 90% of the days being bad. Yo, it's me, Doug from the future. I'm sitting here watching this footage back the next day, and it's really just me like complaining for like 30 straight minutes. And I really do think if you just, complain about things constantly, that just brings more negativity. And my goal here is to find a productive way to deal with all this and focus on the positives and find like the best path forward, right? That is really the mentality I'm trying to take overall here, and to view all this more positively and constructively. But I hope you can forgive me just ranting and complaining this one time and getting it out of my system, because from this point forward, I'm going to be a lot more positive about this whole thing. Okay, back to the video. I'm continuing to try new things. As you might have seen, I tried a fast, which didn't seem to help. I'm currently doing an elimination diet to see if I have immune reactions to different things. And I'm going to try some crazy like breathing and mental health courses and see if maybe it's something more along the lines of mental health. But this thing fucking sucks. I will give the disclaimer here. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Being functional half the time is a fucking blessing. So I certainly do not want to imply that this is like the worst medical problem in the world. It is not. I am doing extremely well in the grand scheme of things. I'm very grateful. But this is, this is the shit. I think everybody's got their thing that they battle with, and this is my thing I battle with. Why does this matter so much, you might ask? It matters because I really can't stream effectively on the days where I have this brain fog. I don't enjoy streaming on the days where I have this brain fog. I can't respond to people. I can't take a story that happens on stream and create a fun, narrative around it with the chat. I don't have ideas and jokes that pop into my head. I'm just sitting there in this like slog zombie state, like trying to push myself with caffeine and music to get to the end. And then on the days that I feel great, it's the opposite. I love interacting with people and I love doing these goofy things on stream and seeing where it goes and going along for the journey, because I trust that my brain can take me along for the journey. So now let me get to the specifically about Twitch scheduling. Based on everything I just said, you might be able to imagine that if I promise that I'm going to stream on Tuesdays, I have no idea how I'm going to feel on Tuesday. And there are many, many, many Tuesdays where I've woken up and I wake up that day and my brain is filled with fog and I feel like shit. And I go, I have to stream today. And that fucking sucks. It sucks a lot. It gives me a lot of anxiety. It's frustrating. It makes me angrier at the sleep problem instead of being like, okay, these are the cards that I'm being dealt today. That's okay. It makes me feel like, it has now ruined this thing that I want to be great, which is a stream, like sharing a cool moment with a stream community, which is, again, like this absolute blessing. But like, it's like, I want it to be good. And I want to show up and be my best for people and try to make great content. And it's just so frustrating when I wake up and I find out that I can't that day. It also just gives me a lot of anxiety because the night before I stream, especially the night before any big stream, I'm sitting there freaked out wondering, is tomorrow going to be a horrible day? And I try to do everything I can to make it good, but nothing works. I'm worried I'm getting a little like ranty at this point, and I just once again want to reiterate, I'm very fortunate as a person. This is a small problem in the grand scheme of things. But as I'm now looking forward, trying to figure out, okay, this is what I got to deal with. Like, I've been working really hard for 5 or 6 years. I still haven't found anything big. These are the cards I've been dealt. How do I actually play these cards in a smart way? And I think forcing myself to, commit to these days every week is not the right play right now. I think what the right play is to instead say, hey, if I wake up and I feel good, I'm going to stream, which is what I'm going to do going forward. At least I want to try this out. That way, it's not that I have to feel good on a Tuesday or now I've disappointed everybody. It's like, if I feel good on Tuesday, I'm going to show up and I'm going to give you guys the best I can because I care about this and I want to work hard. But if I wake up on a Tuesday and I feel like shit, I'm not going to force myself to get on stream. Instead, I'm going to go find some task that I can do that is not mentally draining, whatever that might be. Maybe it's pick up shots for my YouTube video or just, go through emails or something like that, right? There's other things I can do on a day where I haven't slept well, but it's frustrating to stream. So that is why I'm making this change. going forward, I want to stream on days where I am mentally clear and I can give you guys my best. I actually think that this might make the stream better overall, because I think that this gives every stream a better chance of being something fun. And it also gives every stream a better chance of being good enough for YouTube. I'm not saying every single stream is going to be like fucking awesome, but it's giving it that opportunity. You know what I mean? That's the good news. And I think, overall, this might actually just make everything better. The downside is, obviously, this sucks for people who are like loyal viewers or even just who want to show up to streams occasionally. Like, I know for me, if a streamer doesn't have a schedule, I basically can never watch that streamer, because how the fuck would I watch them if I never know? So I completely understand the importance of a stream schedule. And I understand that this is going to really hurt people's ability to participate in the stream. And I totally acknowledge this will probably tank my Twitch viewership. And that sucks, but I don't think what I have been doing is the right option either. So I at least want to try this and see how it goes. And the best case scenario is I figure out this fucking sleep problem, right? Like, the good news about all this is I am extremely stubborn and I will never, ever stop trying to figure this out. I have more things to try. It's getting weirder. I'm getting into weirder territories because I've tried all of the normal things. And man, if I fix this, like, there's a world where 2 months from now, I figure this out. I find out what was going on and it's better. And then maybe I can change all of this. But, I said that 5 years ago. And then I said it again 4 years ago. And I said it again 3 years ago. So I'm starting to kind of accept it, if that makes sense. So hopefully, though, in the future, things will be different. But for now, this is what I think I have to do. I think it's really important. And I appreciate you so much for understanding. I know that this one sucks. I hate, I guess, not being the best I can be. I really try to do my best in everything. And it sucks to be like, hey, I can't do my best in this area anymore. But hopefully it at least makes sense to you guys why I'm making this decision, even if it means, you're not going to tune into the stream anymore, which I would totally understand. I'm actually excited about this. I think it'll be positive overall, and I'm excited because it means when I show up to stream, like, I'm down. Let's fucking stream. I should also say, if I do, obviously there will be some streams that I will schedule. I will schedule a stream with a creator. Obviously, if I do a collab with somebody else, obviously I'm going to schedule that because we need to, stream on the same day. Or if I do like a sponsored stream or something like that. So there are going to be some streams that I schedule, but just kind of the default state will not be scheduled. Okay, that was my big old rant about my sleep stuff. And now moving on to Patreon. I'm going to continue to turn off my Patreon. What that means specifically is that you can still sign up for my Patreon, but it's not going to charge you money and will never charge you money. At least, for the foreseeable future, you will not be charged any money. You're welcome to sign up for it and look at the old posts if you would like. The reason for this, when I started Patreon, I was not doing well financially. That was about like a year ago or a year and a half ago. It was right when my YouTube channel started to take off, and YouTube income is very inconsistent. I was also not really streaming much at that point, and so my Twitch income was also down here, and then YouTube was doing this. So, or not even this. At that point, YouTube was doing this. So it was this over here on YouTube and this on Twitch. Anyway, 4 or 5 months go by, and then I was making a full-time income, and now it's been a year since then, and I'm still making a full-time income, and I'm doing well. I even have a wonderful sponsorship with G Fuel, who have been awesome to work with. I really have enjoyed working with them. But this is all to say that I'm doing well financially. I'm able to pay my bills comfortably, and I'm not worried that I'm just going to lose everything next month. And as a result, I do not really feel like the Patreon is, I don't want to say necessary. It just doesn't feel appropriate. That's also maybe dramatic. It just doesn't feel like something I need right now. And I already basically didn't have the time to actually do any Patreon rewards. I basically gave nothing to the patrons anyway because I had no time. And maybe this will change in the future. That's why I'm not shutting it down completely, because then I would lose the percentage split with Patreon. So I have to keep the Patreon page up, but just not charge money. So that's why I'm not just turning it off completely, because then I would lose that split if in the future I decided to do Patreon again. But for now, you won't be charged or anything like that. It will just be a little historical monument. And honestly, at this point, people who want to support what I'm doing financially, which obviously I greatly appreciate, people who want to do that basically are just doing that on Twitch anyways. So if you were on Patreon and you would like to continue showing support, Twitch is actually a great way to do that. You can just do it through Twitch's bits. I think it's like a fairly good revenue split, or you can subscribe there. That has been that has been great, and Twitch sort of is a big part of how I'm able to do all this right now. So yeah, if you want to show support there, that's awesome, and I appreciate it very much. But I just figure, with everything going on, there's enough stuff already, and I would essentially just sort of move the Patreon vibe into Twitch. And I think that's everything. That's a lot of stuff. Thanks for listening to my rant and me complaining about things. And, again, I hope none of this comes off as complaining or trying to get pity, because I'm really not trying to get pity. It's just, this is what I've been thinking about the past few months. And these are the types of things that are factoring into these decisions and kind of what I'm hoping for. And I generally am feeling very optimistic. And, as I've mentioned a few times already, if this stuff doesn't work, I am perfectly willing to admit that and to change it dramatically if need be. But I think this is like an interesting thing to try out and learn from. So with all that, as always, thank you guys very, very, very much. I mentioned this on stream the other day, but I literally have a dream job, by which I mean there is no job on the planet that somebody could offer me that I would take over this job. There's nothing, no one, no CEO of any company. I would not take any job over this. I love what I'm doing. And I know that might not last forever, right? But right now in this moment, that's how I feel. And that's, I'm extremely, extremely lucky and grateful for that. And none of that would be happening without all of you and your amazing support. So it really does mean a ton. And I appreciate it so much every single day. And I'm really excited for the future. And hopefully this is the start of, a great new chapter. And thanks again for being here. I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a good rest of your month. I guess it's pretty early in the month, but I hope you have a good rest of your month. And otherwise, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks so much.